Hi everyone, this is Karak from ACG, and today I'm bashed, bruised, and blocky as I bring to you the review for LEGO Marvel Avengers. LEGO Avengers tells the tale of, well, like 200 superheroes all battling it out across the various superhero movies that have come out from the Marvel Universe. You're going to be sloshing back grog with Thor and Odinheim, you're going to be doing pirouettes with loaded pistols and Black Widow's official school of Spain scary-ass chicks, and you're going to be going through the Avengers stories, albeit with an eclectic mix of both easily identifiable and also crazily mysterious LEGO superheroes. Let's see how it does, shall we? So here's the review for LEGO Avengers. Hulkbuster antics, holy crap, that's Wiccan right there, and strange group ups that make watching Bing Crosby and David Bowie singing Little Drummer Boy seem positively normal in comparison. Graphics are up first. Man, I have to say, even though I've always felt that small increases have occurred in the graphics engine used in the LEGO games as each one comes out, for example, moments of Jurassic Park were very impressive, but Avengers absolutely blows that out of the water. It's like Risk Aversion suddenly went out the door with subtle lighting cues starting from the very first level as you mimic that snow battlefield in Avengers 2, and also, this is the best intro in any LEGO games hands down to me. Then quickly you jump from location to location, always surprised at the fluidity and flexibility of the presentation, but also the well-built levels. Even the depth of field post-processing looks more accurate and has far less glaucoma vision than prior titles, resulting in more "wow, look at that," replacing "wow, what is that?" It's this mixture of locality that draws the eye and keeps you interested, as some of what was learned from Jurassic Park game was obviously put into this one, which means also more forested areas that look just as good as their more modern and Avenger-specific locations that you see later. It's a fantastic mix of the urban and rural without one being left behind by the other. Now, that being said, I wasn't too impressed with the open-world main cities at all. Drab and environmentally uninspired, I found most of my time there less interesting than the smaller locations or places like Hawkeye's home away from home. The larger areas remove the visual busyness and interesting environments of the game's levels and replaces it with a barrenness that's noticeable the moment you enter, despite being filled with generic activities you can perform. Now that being said, Hawkeye's hot wife's place was really well done and open enough to initiate a desire for me to explore without feeling like I needed to drop down friggin' breadcrumbs to find my way back. Serious question though, why would that dude ever leave his house? Anyway, special effects and movie moments absolutely hammer home the feeling that the LEGO games really have mastered mimicking their movie brethren, and I dig that completely. It's really well done here. Now, lastly, the extraordinary number of characters you can play and their special moves and their team-ups means that the amount of animation here and the eye towards doing damage but also looking somewhat comical throughout is nailed perfectly. Most of the lesser-known characters are outfitted with some unique aspect to remind you of who they are, but 50 Shades of Agent does rear its ugly head as many of the Agent characters all sort of look similar, and their inclusion seems a little bit inherently questionable. While the current gen console versions up the resolution a bit from the past gen versions, the additional work on special effects and color mean that aside from aliasing, the past gen versions look fantastic and the current gen versions look even better. Sound, music, and voice.
Use a lullaby.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. Not for a while.
The whole team's down.
I'm calling Veronica.
And sound is always up first in this trilogy of audio awesome. You know, with both sound and most voice taken directly from the movie, you do have an excellent sound sphere to inhabit. The sounds are where they should be, spreading across the spectrum as missiles fly in with low, airy combustion sounds and then smash home, exploding in various degrees of digital destruction, always replete with their respective sound effects as they trail off, and that's very, very important. A game like this is positively proof that when a ton of crap is happening on screen, good audio can save your blocky bacon, and that happens a good deal of times here. It's still LEGO, which means you're gonna die a lot, but in the end, the audio is informative and very well mixed. I'd say very, very good audio. And that, of course, brings us to music. I have to say, I wasn't expecting this. While much of it's taken from the movies, and when done so, it's really excellent. There are some tracks here that I don't ever even remember or somehow slipped by me during their connected films. For example, the amazing solo at Hawkeye's secret hottie farm is absolutely incredible, eliciting a feeling of exploring and discovering without being too in your face as a track. While the major tracks from the movies are bombastic and awe-inspiring in a let's go out and put on some tight-fitting clothes and punch people in the face kind of way, it's the other tracks that really floored me here. There's a subtlety that I did not expect. I wouldn't listen to the entire soundtrack away from the game, I'm going to be honest, but some of the more exploratory bits were excellent. It does what it's supposed to, and that means it lends an atmosphere to your experience without becoming the experience. Really good music. Voice. Okay, so this falls into the same positives and negatives that Jurassic Park Lego did, but luckily due to the fact that Jurassic Park was made in a time when most audio recordings had the tonal depth of repeating phrases to parrots, we now see what moving forward in technology can do, and much of the voice is excellent and better than it would have been had the years been reversed. However, the negatives still do remain in many places. Stealing voice from the movies means using a large number of software suites and filters to remove background noise and or add effects to mimic the environment that the voice is in. And sadly, there are a good deal of problems here. Some of Tony Stark's voiceovers are so washed out and filled with extra noise, I was surprised Lego didn't just have him wearing a helmet in a funny cutscene to at least mentally connect the visual to the audio that you're hearing. It happens a good deal of the time as well. Now that being said, it still hits more than it misses, and it uses the original voices, plus they asked some of the actors to return and re-record, which was an awesome idea, and it shows that with further exposition within the story. I'd say good voices, but the timing for conversations within the game brings negatives to the forefront when they exist. Gameplay. As with Jurassic Park and hell, most of the Lego games, the floor of execution is the same here as it is there. It's basically running around levels using your abilities to get further while occasionally performing Lego doctomies on enemies. Listen, when you're slicing, shooting, dicing, gunning, goring, lasering, tearing apart, or otherwise destroying the environment, you're also rewarded in loot. Like a slot machine that pays out in male escorts, the game is about two things: progression and collecting studs. Because really, you could be lifting lucky enemies above your head, fooling them into thinking you're going to show them the world, but treating them to a brain bashing via the Hulk, or electrifying enemies with Thor's hammer power, or taking Pepper Potts through her paces in Stark's lab and destroying everything around you. The world rewards you with absolutely insane amounts of multicolored collectibles, and that's why it's awesome. Pretty soon you're awash with battles occurring, collectibles dropping, and studs being loaded into your infinite pocket of awesomeness that you apparently carry them in. For fans, it's that visual delight and almost saccharine-like gameplay that can stoke the imagination, knowing that almost everything you do is going towards the ability to purchase some add-on or item. It is a fantastic visual reinforcement for exploration and continues to work here. Additions to this title over others is boiled down to evolution. Now each character has a special that they can pull off, but those specials can be used with other teammates in the game as well for dual specials. It's great fun, and some of them are thematically connected to the characters that you're playing at any one time, like the Hulk and Loki, or a certain dude and his dinosaur. It's creative, and better yet, it's reflective of whom you've chosen to play, and that adds another layer of mystery to the title when you question, what is the special going to be if I mix these two characters together? Speaking of exploration, once you beat a level, free roam becomes available, and I suggest that you sprint, teleport, or fly to them as quickly as you can. Due to the type of characters within Avengers, many locations have specific things you can find hidden or ways you can go as long as you have characters that allow for that, and switching is as easy as holding down the switch partner button just a little longer, and then you can switch out to whomever you need unlocked that has the power that you require. It's that childlike bait to our fish that works so well here. You know, after a cannibal dinner, they say, now there's a little bit of Bob in all of us. Well, Lego's always betting there's a little bit of kid in all of us, and every gameplay system they have within the title works towards that. When you look at Lego games, there's a couple very important factors. One of them, of course, is control. With the large number of dead drops and high wire antics that occur in these titles, if the characters didn't control well, it'd be like driving a truck with one of those damn rubber exercise bands. It's going to do some of what you want, but at some point it's going to get you killed. Here, control's fairly spot on, but I have to admit, some of the characters just felt far more tactical than others. Getting Hulk was a breath of fresh air. This dude's got almost supernatural reflexes, like he's wearing a coat made of seeing eye dogs. His attacks shifting him across the screen in a twisting maelstrom of madness. And this is coming from a dude with a cold storage shed where his heart is, because frankly, I'm not a big fan of Incredible Hulk as a comic book character. But in here, damn, he smokes. It is awesome, but some are just not that enticing, unfortunately, and some of them are the new ones. For example, being Agent Carter was cool for a second, as I said out loud, nice hat, and then she got killed again and again and again, because she really is just a bog standard character with a couple little flashes. Luckily, for every Agent so-and-so you don't remember, there are probably 3 characters you do or have heard of, and most, I would say, respect their time on the small screen, though there are weaknesses. Listen, this isn't a revolution. It's not like Lego Avengers suddenly turned into Uncharted while we waited. Instead, it's an evolution of what was there prior, and that means though they have some evolutionary dead ends in the guise of characters you probably will never play, for the most part, every single time this happens, the lineage of titles is stronger for the inclusion. To complete up gameplay, I'd say I love the gameplay as a complete package and was surprised at the depth and uniqueness some characters provided. However, I wasn't impressed with the larger city level at all, and some characters, as with all LEGO games, are just not going to be worth the spot on the roster. And that, of course, brings us to fun factor. Okay, LEGO's never shown a good deal of care about pandering to certain gamer demographics outside of those that already enjoy little colored blocks on a digital screen, despite choices in fiction that might bring in new fans just because. It's the continued atmosphere, frequency, and freedom of engagements within this title, an accurate reflection of both the in-game and the fiction source material, that pays off completely here. And it's also a blast. No, seriously, this thing holds so well to the Marvel movies and almost seamlessly flips between them that the story beats were perfect. There are a couple non-starters, but for the most part, this game is not only enjoyable to play, but enjoyable to replay, more so than past titles, due to the increased depth of the character roster, as well as what they can do once you unlock them. Listen, I wasn't sitting there rocking back and forth crying into my pillow due to the not liking of the open-ended city and its rote mission structure. Most likely because I was far too busy kicking ass with an assortment of Marvel heroes you will never see together unless you own a comic book collection. It's fantastic fun. So as you guys know, I rate games on a buy, wait for sale, rent, or never touch again rating scale. This is a buy easily and is the most polished and laden with gameplay titles within the series. And I say that knowing I wasn't in love with one large part of it, but that speaks to the strength of its offering as a title. So as always, if you guys like the video, hit thumbs up, maybe come to our Reddit, talk about some games with us. If you dislike the video, thumbs down as always. And in the end, remember, peace out.